I never thought that 43 years ago when we loaded up to come to Darlington with 2 race car drivers that we would still be coming back down here in '93.
The Southern 500 in 1965 is a great memory for me and our family. My dad was in a championship battle for that year with Dick Hutcherson, and he was able to win the race by 14 laps and virtually wrapped the championship up. And as we went home that night, practically the entire town of Camden, South Carolina was in our front yard waiting on my dad with a banner saying 65 national champion, and quite a day for us all.
I've been close to winning and beating the old track before, real close a couple times. I finished 4th in my very first Southern 500 as a rookie driver back in '84. I finished a close 2nd back in 1987, but I think the best chance I'll ever have to win will be this time around. A racer's career just isn't complete without beating this track at least once.
The first time I came here in 1981, the first time out on the racetrack, going through turn 3 and 4 was so hard that 1 and 2 seemed easy. So about the 2nd lap, I spun out in 1 and 2. I was lucky enough not to wreck the car. Wound up sitting on the outside pole and finishing 4th, though. So I guess the racetrack's been kind to me.
One of my most memorable moments here at Darlington is when I was racing Elliott. I'd pitted for gas and got behind, and I was running him down. And I thought I was going to catch him, and just about caught him, and then I got in the wall coming off too, sort of dampened my hopes to win. I thought I was just going to have to run along and run second. I knew I was that far ahead of 3rd place. And then on the last lap, Elliott runs out of gas, and we win anyway. So it just sort of goes to show you never give up on the Lady in Black.
ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you live to Darlington Raceway in South Carolina for the annual Labor Day tradition, the NASCAR Winston Cup Mountain Dew Southern 500. We have been in a rain delay since 1 o'clock this afternoon. It has stopped raining, skies remain overcast, the temperature is 85 degrees, and the breeze has picked up somewhat to help dry this racetrack. The crowd is filing back in. Hopefully we can get this entire race in this afternoon. The points going into this 22nd race of the year. Dale Earnhardt continues to lead. Rusty Wallace has jumped up 2 positions last week. Mark Martin also up 2, Dale Jarrett back 2, and Morgan Shepherd remains in 5th position in the Winston Cup point standings. And welcome back to Darlington. We've been updating you on the weather since about 1 o'clock. Things are looking very good now. The track is drying. The rain is not falling anymore, and it looks like we're going to be able to go racing here in just a few moments. We told you during the afternoon about several news items that come out of here. A couple of driver changes. First of all, Ernie Irvin goes from the 4 to the 28 car, and Jeff Purvis goes in the 4 car. Now for 1994, Lake Speed goes to the Bud Moore number 15. Now going into this race, we have 3 drivers eligible for $100,000 and a guy going for 4 wins in a row. That's Mark Martin. He's starting up front with some new drivers and some veterans. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you, Bob. A bit of irony here in the front 2 rows. Take a look. The hottest young rookie driver, Bobby Labonte, coming off 3 out of last 5 races, top 10 finishes. The Maxwell House Ford Thunderbird, Tim Brewer and crew had this young man really flying and gaining on the rookie battle. He starts his best spot all year, 3rd in qualifying. And right beside him, the man you talked about, the hottest driver in NASCAR right now as they fire the engines. The Valvoline Ford driver, Mark Martin, going for 4 in a row. Mr. August trying to make himself Mr. September. But look on the outside of row 1. It's the oldest driver, Harry Gant, in the oldest car. A car that won here way back in 1989 in the oldest race at the oldest racetrack. Could be an omen for 53-year-old Harry Gant to get his first win in 1993. But there are 3 drivers looking for good omens as well, and John Kernan has more.
Jerry, of those 3 drivers that you can see on the front cover of this year's Mountain Dew Southern 500 program that the fans are buying in the stands, find a good omen today, it could be worth $100,000. The bonus, the consolation prize. Of course, the Winston Million, winning 3 of the Big 4. If you win 2 of the Big 4, you get $100,000. Dale Jarrett, of course, eligible by winning the Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt winning the Coca-Cola 600. And Ernie Irvin by winning the Winston 500 at Talladega. Now, Bob mentioned that Ernie had changed teams. He's moved over into the Robert Yates number 28 Ford. But the honor stays with the driver. So Ernie is eligible for the $100,000 bonus if he can come away with a win today. And Ned and Benny, this is what an awesome responsibility to have that pressure on these drivers' shoulders here at such a very, very tough racetrack.
Boy, John, you're right. What a tough racetrack it is. The surface, Ned, just about worn out. Nothing but stones. It's very porous. They wear the tires badly.
Well, the tires do wear out very quickly here because of the worn pavement. And to add to that, all the rain that we've had here today. Of course, they had some rubber buildup on Friday in practice and qualifying, and then in the Gatorade 200 yesterday. But all of that has been washed away. I think it's somewhat of a guessing game as to how you set the chassis up. It'll be interesting to see who hit it right as we go on this green track here this afternoon.
And tires, folks, we're talking about tires wearing out probably in 35, 40 laps. And it's not the tires. Don't get us wrong. It's just the surface is very, very porous. And next year, they're going to change the racetrack. They're going to put the stands on the back. And they've got the competitors have to put up with this racetrack 2 more races in 1995. It will be completely resurfaced and changed, but they've got to put up with it for 3 more races.
Now, Goodyear mounted a lot of tires here for this race, didn't they? You did a little numerology on that.
1,900 tires they mounted, $272 a piece. I mean, 2,000 tires is $540,000 worth of tires, and you knock 100 off of that times $272. That's $27,000. $513,000 worth of tires they're going to use this afternoon.
Wow. Well, we're getting ready for it. It's going to be exciting here at Darlington.
And the pace car has its lights on. The cars have been fired. In just a few moments, the cars will go onto the racetrack for a couple of warm-up laps, and then we should get underway with the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Pontiac and your nearby Pontiac dealers who are driving excitement. By AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. And by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR.
Recently, we invited Mazda, Acura, Porsche, all car companies to compare their sports cars with our new Firebird formula to see who can match our standard driver and passenger airbags, standard anti-lock brakes, and 275 horsepower engine, and do it for even twice the price of this new Firebird. No one could. No one. This is the new standard for sports car safety, performance, and value.
Done that. Did that. Been there. Tried that. Done it. Did it. Done it. Doing it tomorrow. Whoa! Never did it.
You've never done nothing till you do diet do.
Did it. Done it. Liked it. Loved it.
There's not a right or wrong answer with this, is there? You need some little gougons in here. You need some stuff, something. I mean, it's just flakes, darling. I'm afraid that people might get bored to tears. All right, it's fun. It is. It's got a, oomph. It does. It's got a crispiness. I like the simplicity of it.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
What's Kellogg's Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
What a flake.
Junior partner.
See mommy picking the big lock? When you're a big girl, she'll teach you how to pick locks.
Undercover Blues, rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, there's an X. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
When Darrell Waltrip needs his car serviced, he needs the best, and he needs it fast.
And so do you. These days, it's hard to know who to trust. The service team at Western Auto does the job right. Right, Junior?
Right, DW, and at the right price.
From batteries to brakes, to shocks, tires, and alignment, you can trust Western Auto to give you the best service at unbeatable low prices every day. The best service at the right price from someone you can trust. At Western Auto, we guarantee it.
Right, DW. We welcome you back to Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. Unscheduled pit stop for the only driver ever to win the Winston Million. Awesome Bill Elliott brings the Budweiser Ford down pit road, apparently the victim of a flat right side tire. Elliott radioed just a lap ago, so I got a tire going down. Mike Beam and the Junior Johnson crew went to work, called Elliott in, and they will change all 4 tires to make sure. Bill Elliott, a 4-time winner, twice a winner of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. It's that time in 20.1 seconds under green, and he's back away.
And Bill Elliott gave up 10th position to come in for that tire change. Elliott running in the top 10. He has won 4 times on this racetrack. 2 in the spring race and 2 here in the Southern 500. Hey, we're at record pace. Average speed 136.2 and the record is 135.4. And Mark Martin is still trying to get around Dale Earnhardt.
Nothing has changed.
Look how high on the track Earnhardt is.
Earnhardt really got up high that time, but he got a very good grip up there. But you know, Ned, when they run across traffic, Dale Earnhardt doesn't really have a problem with it because he's running so high, he just blows by. But when Mark Martin has to move up the racetrack, he has a problem.
Here's Rusty Wallace moving inside of Ken Schrader for 5th. And we're at the halfway mark. 184 laps have been completed, and Martin again challenges Dale Earnhardt. Martin inches ahead down the backstretch, but then Earnhardt fights right back. Pulls on the side up there, and Earnhardt right back up again. Just like always. They both a little loose.
Martin's trying to wiggle pretty good up there.
Yep.
Halfway point.
Ned, what do you suppose Mark's going to do on the last lap during this situation?
Well, if he goes, he's going to slow her down going into that turn and not slide high.
He's going to make Earnhardt go in on the outside of it, right?
I think that's what he's going to do.
He's going to try to make Earnhardt go in on the outside of it.
Isn't that the strategy that Robert Presley used, what was it, last year to win here?
Yeah, beat here again.
Yeah.
Right, on the last lap.
Yep.
Here comes Martin down the front straightaway. He's alongside Earnhardt.
He's not taking Earnhardt's groove away because he runs right up there anyway.
Get about a half a car length ahead.
Mark just can't get good traction down on the inside coming off that turn. Has the preferred position going in, but he'll slide up and Earnhardt right back under him again.
Same old story.
Meanwhile, Dave Martin's sitting back there just watching this and saying, wow, these guys are really racing.
Dave has come from way back and has run this twosome down.
He's 20th. 2 laps down. This is like a broken record. The same thing happens every lap. Maybe Martin is trying to coax him into making a mistake, huh?
No, they're having fun.
They are just racing.
Really having fun. Mark's going to try to get a hard run on him this time, but quite good.
All right, this time Earnhardt's going to let him go. Yep. I guess Richard Childress said, no, well, wait a minute. I thought Earnhardt was going to let him go. And Dale almost did hit the wall that time.
Okay, now Mark has him cleared this time.
Yeah.
He can take his groove into the third turn.
Is wiggling up in that corner.
Getting very, very loose.
Man,
we understand that Ernie Irvin is about to make a pit stop. His car is getting very, very loose as well. Here he is, slowing down right now, getting ready to come into the pits.
Jerry Punch will call this pit stop by Ernie Irvin, the driver of the Haviland Ford, Jerry.
You're exactly right, Ned. Jared, Ernie Irvin's car was on skates out there. He last pitted 45 laps ago, and the tires have gone away. So he will bring the Texaco Hamill and Ford Thunderbird down. We'll put the blocks on his crew and see what Larry McReynolds' crew can do. Right side and left side tires should go on this Ford Thunderbird. They are being very meticulous in cleaning the front grill area and the windshield. Now left side tires going up. They're putting left side tires in the car number 20. Let's check into the Ken Schrader Victor John Turner.
Jerry, the pole sitter, is in for a 4-tire change. Right side's already on. The crew will swing around. Go to work on the left side. Make sure they clean the windshield. Also, make sure that they get some of that rubber swept away from that front grille because they don't want it overheating problem. We can see a couple of cars here making repeated pit stops for overheating. Ken Schrader is down and away a pretty good pit stop. Jeff Gordon is now in. He will also take on 4 tires. And Ricky Rudd is into the pits. Once again, 4-tire change. The order of the day. As we've been telling you, the tires, this tough old racetrack, Goodyear doing as best as they can for it, but this racetrack is just so tough on tires with the rocks, with the broken seashells, that it literally shaves the tread off of the tires. Rick Masters also coming in for 4-tire changes. Let's go upstairs to the booth.
And a good race on the track as Brett Bodine has passed Dale Earnhardt.
I tell you what, while we were watching Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt race for the lead, this guy, Brett Bodine, just slowly crept right up and is in second place. Looks like he's gaining on Mark Martin.
Brett Bodine's best finish of 1993 was a 5th in the second Pocono race. He has been coming on to the last 6 races. Climb began at Loudon with his 13th place finish and is reflected by 5 finishes, 14th or better in his last 6 events. There goes Bobby Hillin shooting by Brett on new tires.
Yes, he was in just a few laps ago in the Howlett Myers Ford, so he just drives right on around.
And the Ford car was just black flagged the last time by. I don't know why that Jeff Purvis was black flagged in the Kodak Film Chevrolet, but NASCAR officials displayed the black flag as he went by. Here's our leader, Mark Martin. Down the back straightaway.
Here's some more fresh tires. Ricky Rudd passing Dale Earnhardt. Just in the 5 Chevrolet for 4 tires. Kyle Petty has been in as well, and he makes a pass on Earnhardt.
Kyle's 26th. Mark Martin continues to stay out there. Now Rudd passes second place, Brett Bodine. And here's Terry Labonte in the back pits. Oh, I'm sorry, that's in the front pits. Kellogg's Cornflake Chevy. Another driver involved in a team switch for 94. He'll join Rick Hendrick.
Terry was being shown in the 17th position before this pit stop. He was shown 2 laps down to the leaders.
See him working there at the front of the car to get that build-up rubber off the front of it. Now here comes Brett Bodine in, giving up second position, the Quaker State Ford. Jerry Punch, he's headed toward you.
And Donnie Richardson and crew waiting on Brett Bodine's car number 26. One of the best runs they have had this year. The Kenny Bernstein-owned car. They will get right side and left side tires as Brett Bodine sits patiently in the car. This time by, we should expect to see the Valvoline Ford of Mark Martin, our leader, coming down pit road. But Rusty Wallace is in. Let's check in with John Turner.
Jerry, as Mark Martin heads down pit road, Rusty Wallace's crew is going to work. Right side tires on. The Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. Dale Earnhardt will also pull in as the 3rd place car. They will do a 4-tire change in fuel. We're not expecting any chassis adjustments as now let's go down to Mark Martin's pit where they're working on the right side and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Exactly the man who's had the hot hand in NASCAR. Mark Martin gets right side tires and now left side tires as Rusty is already out as he is headed down pit road. Valvoline crew now putting left side rubber on. Good pit stop. 20.2 seconds and the car number 6 is down and away.
Earnhardt comes down pit road. The 98 car of Derek Cope stops, and here's John Kernan again as Kerry is in.
Likewise, a 4-tire change, also a chassis adjustment around the wedge out of the right rear left side now going on. Here again, sitting in the car waiting. They are wiping away the rubber. Here he guns the engine as they drop the jack and heads down pit road.
Morgan Shepherd is going out. Ted Musgrave is on pit road. Here comes Harry Gant. That's looking back on Harry from Morgan Shepherd's car. On the racetrack, meanwhile, our leader is Mark Martin. Martin has the leading end of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 with 197 laps completed.
Hot. Tender. Fast. Get the delicious fried chicken now at Wayne's Catering and Ribs. It's cooked fresh when you order. It comes in family pack, party pack, and kids meal sizes. Delicious fried chicken. And don't forget Wayne's hickory smoked ribs, chicken, and beef. Plan your next occasion with Wayne's Catering. Wayne's Catering and Ribs, Route 130 North in Willingboro.
The latest collection of diamond anniversary bands at Anthony Jewelers in Palmyra.
Join the New Jersey Cable Television Association as we present Connecting the Future, a multi-site interactive demonstration linking locations from across the state, including the Liberty Science Center and the State House in Trenton. We'll showcase current and future capabilities of cable TV in New Jersey, including distance learning, telemedicine, and home banking. And we'll launch a new statewide initiative to improve customer service. Cable television is changing with New Jersey. To find out how, tune in at these scheduled times.
Some of it, however, goes into the front grille of the cars, and there it is in turn number 4, and that's why the crew members work so hard to get that build-up rubber from the front of the cars when they come in for a pit stop. Here is the battle for second position, Irvin and Brett Bodine, and Brett is going to take it away from Ernie.
Brett just goes right by. Ernie falls in behind him. Brett Bodine has the luxury of having just a couple of laps less on his tires than Ernie Irvin does, so there's not much Ernie can do except just watch him go by.
Here's the Western Auto Race summary. Mark Martin, our current leader, has led 31 of the 200 laps. There are 8 cars on the lead lap, 9 leaders, 17 changes, 2 cautions, only 2 cautions for 11 laps, and the average speed is at a record 136.2. Those that have led a lap and picked up the 5 bonus points include Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvin, Mark Martin, Ken Trader, Brett Bodine, Jeff Gordon, Harry Gant, Jimmy Hensley, and Jeff Purvis.
Seems unbelievable that Mark Martin has only led, what was that, 31 laps or something?
Not nearly as much as Earnhardt, yeah. And there are 5 cars listed out of the race. Means, Teague, Bailey, Strickland, and Skinner. The standings in the Mechanic of the Year battle. Andy Petrie is on top over Steve Beal, Tony Glover, Buddy Parrott, and Frank Edwards. The standings in the Mechanic of the Year. Honors from Western Auto. There is Rusty Wallace coming up on Ted Musgrave, who is back in action this week after missing the Bristol race. The Jasper Engines US Air Ford, and Rusty is 4th.
They're showing in 5th right now.
Are they?
Yes, because Dale Earnhardt is 4th, and the 3 Fords are in front. I'll tell you what, Rusty's pretty good because we're waiting for the leader, and we can see that Mark Martin we're still waiting. There comes Mark Martin off turn 4 right now, and Brett Bodine, our second place car.
Mark's in some traffic.
He's been on Gary Cohn for 2 or 3 laps in that Bojangles Ford. That's
Wally Dallenbach Jr.
His teammate.
Yep. There.
Headed cleared, so we're right around.
You know, last time there was a 10-mile-an-hour difference from lap before pit stop and lap after. Now about a 7-mile-an-hour difference.
Well, the miles per hour was higher this time on the slowest lap. Went from 140 to 141.5. And I would guess they're getting some rubber in the racetrack, and the racetrack is getting a little bit faster or more consistent. The drop-off will not be as great.
Yeah, I think consistent is the word, Danny, that with that rubber on there, that it's a little bit more predictable and not as big a slate.
And I tell you, the officials here at this speedway, Jim Hunter, all the people there are so excited about what's going to happen to this racetrack. How they're going to put more seats. You know, they're going to flip-flop the racetrack, going to repave the racetrack. They want to make Darlington Raceway a showplace for motorsports.
Here's another grand field summary. As we watch the leader, Mark Martin, put laps on traffic.
lap down. Michael Walker a lap down. We haven't talked too much about it today, but still hanging 1 lap down.
Jeff Purvis is 4 laps down in his first race for the Morgan McClure Kodak Chevrolet. And there are the drivers that have dropped out of competition. I hesitate to mention this. We have only had 2 cautions, neither of which were for incidents. There were only 3 in the spring race that resulted in the record speed, and we are running above that right now. Back in 1963, there were no cautions in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Back with more right after this. The World is being brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later. And by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. The Mountain Dew Southern 500 continues. For those of you tuning in for baseball tonight, it will not be seen tonight because of our coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500, which was rain delayed 3 hours. Shop Talk, which was supposed to debut at 5 o'clock and obviously also had to be scrapped, will be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the guest will be Bill Elliott. And American Muscle will be on at 1:30 tomorrow morning. So, Benny, you can watch it after all.
Oh, yeah, right. I'll have to fly to California where it's only 10:30.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You think your body will know that, huh?
Yeah.
Mark Martin is the leader of the race. He has a 2.15-second advantage on Brett Bodine, 4.23 on Dale Earnhardt, 4.95 on Ernie Irvan, and a 20.5-second lead on Rusty Wallace, who is 5th. We are live here at Darlington, South Carolina. We were rain delayed. It was supposed to start at 1 o'clock. It started at 4 Eastern time, and so we are just a little bit more than halfway through this event. Mark Martin is the leader, going for his 4th consecutive win in NASCAR Winston.
When we went to break, Dale Earnhardt was our 4th place car. Well, he passed Ernie Irvan during that break to take over 3rd place.
Bobby Labonte continues to be among the contenders. He's listed in 19th position. The first car a lap down.
In fact, he just went 2 laps down. Yeah, just moments ago as Mark Martin went around him.
The Maxwell House 4, driven by rookie contender Bobby Labonte. Started 3rd. His highest was a 3rd on lap number 94, and his lowest was on lap 142, where he was running 29th. Brett Bodine started 12th. He led lap 100. On lap number 5 was 13th. As a matter of fact, he led 3 laps there in the around the lap 100 mark. The 16 car of Wally Dallenbach started 30th, currently running 20th. He's been as high as 13th and as low as 31st. He has not led a lap.
And then comes Dale Earnhardt, who started 6th, currently 3rd. Of course, his highest was 1st. He's led a lot of laps. Lowest was 8th on lap 94, and has led 101 laps.
Phil Parsons, his little brother, he started 34th. He's currently 29th. He was up to 18th on lap 101. He was back 35th on lap 88 and has not led a lap.
The 28 car is being driven this weekend by Ernie Irvan. He is the permanent driver now of this car this season and next. Started 10th, currently 4th. Led 46 laps so far. His lowest position has been 10th. That was on lap 191.
And he signed a 4-year deal with Robert Yates.
And right behind him is the car number 98, the Bojangles Ford of Derek Coke, who started 5th. He's currently 26th. His highest was 5th on lap 5. His lowest was lap 114, 31st.
And we're going to Terry Labonte, the driver of the Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet. He started 20th. He's right there at 21st. He did get up to 6th place on lap 147. He was back to 25th on lap 196. And Terry hasn't led there.
Todd Bodine started 17th. Look at his highest position, 3rd on lap 93, but he had a disastrous pit stop in which he knocked off the ignition of the battery switch. He has been as low as 34th. He's currently in 17th position.
Sterling Marlin, he started 9th. He currently is running 34th because he had a long pit stop. He was up to 7th on lap 5, but he went back to 36th. And I don't know exactly how many laps behind he is, but several laps behind.
And then next comes Jimmy Hensley in the Family Channel Ford number 7. Started 26, currently running 27th. His highest, he led a lap back on lap 32. His lowest was on lap 93 and 33rd.
Then comes the 90 car, driven by Bobby Hillen, who started 19th, has fallen back to 25th. Highest and lowest, 9th and 34th.
Dale Jarrett is next. The Interstate Battery Chevrolet started 27th. He's currently in 10th spot. Ned, it doesn't look like he's going to win that $100 grand. No. He did get up to 4th place. His lowest was back to 28th on lap 7.
And Bill Elliott has dropped back to 10th. Actually, Jarrett has moved up to 9th now as he got around the Budweiser Ford to Bill Elliott. Bill started 7th, currently 9th. Highest was 7th on lap 4. His lowest was 24th on lap 189 when he made that unscheduled pit stop.
Jeff Bodine in the Motorcraft Ford is currently running in 11th position after starting 29th. It's been as high as 6th and as low as 31st. Jeff has not led a lap so far in the Bud 4 car.
We've got to go all the way back here from Michael Walter from the Pennzoil Pontiac. Started 25th. He now is in 12th spot. He did get up to 9th. And his lowest was 28th. And Michael has not led a lap today.
Rusty Wallace will be next in line. Rusty started 11th, currently 5th. His highest was 4th on lap 195. His lowest was 32nd on lap 89. Of course, that was during some pit stops. And I might mention here that Rick Mast will be among some of these cars. He has taken his Stoll Classic Ford to the garage area.
And the number 68 car is the next we will focus on. Greg Sachs, currently running in 28th position. He was 2nd on lap 97 and 32nd on lap 139. He started 13th. And there's the 12 car, Jimmy Spencer.
And Spencer started 14th. He's currently 14th, right there at the same spot he started. He did get up to 6th spot, and he went back to 28th on lap 93.
And Ted Musgrave is next. That car is running much better than he started 18th and currently shown 22nd. He got up as high as 2nd on lap 95, but that car has run better than the position that he is in, even though he's being passed right now or about to be passed by Ken Schrader.
Who was the pole sitter? Started on the pole, currently is in 6th position. He led 12 laps and has been as low as 24th. Schrader going for $7,600 in Unocal bonus money.
44 car, Rick Wilson, the STP Pontiac is next. He started 35th, currently 31st. He did get up to 30th. That's the highest he got today. His lowest was 36th. Rick having a terrible day in the Pontiac.
And Harry Gant started 2nd, currently 7th. His highest was the 1st on lap 144. And he dropped back to 16th on lap 36 during pit stops. He has led 2 laps today in the Stoll Bandit.
And the car sustained some damage on a pit stop from Ricky Rudd. Next is Jeff Gordon. Started 15th, and that is where he is running. He led 3 laps of this race. He has been back as far as 22nd. Jeff Gordon currently 15th.
There's Morgan Shepherd, the Citgo Ford. He started 21st. He's now 16th. He did get up to 8th spot and all the way back to 28th on lap 45.
Next in line is the car number 20, the Phenolube car of Bobby Hamilton. Started 32nd, currently 24th. Got up as high as 14th and as lowest at 35th.
I think we got 3 more to go, guys. We've completed almost a full lap. Here's Jeff Purvis in car number 4. Started 22nd, currently 30th. He did lead a lap and has been as low as 36th. The Morgan McClure car being driven by Jeff Purvis.
There's Darrell Waltrip, and another guy that's having a terrible, terrible day. He and Dick Trickle, 2 cars that look almost identical. Darrell started 24th, currently in 32nd. He did get up to 10th and back to 34th. And as I said, Darrell having a terrible day. And there goes the 40 car. Kenny Wallace by. He started 31st. He's currently 18th. He did get up to 9th. Back to 36 was his lowest, and I guess that's when he made a pit stop and put Dick Trickle, who is now driving the car, in that Dirt Devil Pontiac.
That's right. There's Dick Trickle. It is the 2nd consecutive race that Kenny Wallace has been relieved by Dick Trickle because, remember, Kenny sustained a broken shoulder blade and has crashed during testing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well, there's a review of the field of the cars that are out there. 227 laps is what we have completed, and the leader is Mark Martin. Stay with us.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
Dear Midas, after getting an outrageous estimate at my dealer, I came back to your shop. Your mechanics,
John, Jim, Ron, Robert,
gave me a free estimate, stayed late to finish the job, and even pointed out that my brake pads were under warranty, saving me a lot. I was so thankful for not being taken advantage of. I bought them all lunch the next day. Thank you, Sarah Acco.
There's not a right or wrong answer with this, is there? You need some little gougons in here. You need some stuff, something. I mean, it's just flakes, darling. I'm afraid that people might get bored to tears. All right, it's fun. It is. It's got a, oomph. It does. It's got a crispiness. I like the simplicity of it.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
What a flake. It was my joke.
The Mountain Dew Southern 500 live from Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Yes, we're still going with this race. It didn't start until 4 o'clock because of rain. And there is the leader, Mark Martin, going for his 4th consecutive win in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. While we were doing our little swing around the track, well, here is Kyle Petty, who has brought the mellow yellow Pontiac into the pits on the backstretch.
That's a car we didn't cover in our snapshot, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he got lapped during our lap around the track. He and Ricky Rudd both got lapped, and so we missed both of those, but Kyle is still out there in the running. Of course, in the pits right now, he was being shown in the, well, let's see, where was he? 18th position before he came in, and Ricky Rudd has gone a lap down. Now there are only 7 cars in the lead lap. Ricky Rudd is running in 8th place.
And another car we missed during our swing around the track was Rick Mast, who took his car behind the wall. John Kernan can tell us why.
Well, they are planning to get the Skull Classic Ford back out on the racetrack. What happened? They broke the rear end gear. The car just would not pull, so they pulled it into the garage area. They're changing the rear end gear, and they expect to be back out on the racetrack to run some more laps.
Meanwhile, we're riding with Mark Martin as he comes up on Dick Trickle driving the Dirt Devil Pontiac, and he dispenses with him rather easily. Things have kind of settled down here, so let's jump inside the Valvoline Ford and take a few laps around, plus watch the telemetry and see how the speed and the RPMs are going. Some action on pit road as Ken Schrader brings the Kodiak Chevy in. Bill Elliott is also in. Jerry.
Bill Elliott running in 12th position, 1 lap down. Remember, he made an unscheduled pit stop, and they have had a problem here. The car has fallen off the jack. The car rolled back as Ken Schrader also getting service, our pole sitter in the Kodiak Chevrolet. And now Elliott's car has fallen off the jack, and they're going to have to go get another jack. They have one jack that apparently broke, and the car slid off. What a tough break. They're trying to fix the car up. They don't have tires on the right side of the car. They cannot get the jack under. Now they finally got the jack out of the car. Meanwhile, Kenny Schrader has moved back on the racetrack. They are finally getting the right side of the car jacked up with a little help from one of the Valvoline crew members. Right side tires going on. What else could happen to Bill Elliott? He lost a lap earlier due to a cut tire on the right side. He was running in 12th position, one of 8 cars showing 1 lap down. Gets the car tires changed and heads back to turn 1.
A pit stop that seemed like an eternity for Bill Elliott, who will be the guest on the premiere of Shop Talk here on ESPN. And he likes cold program. Bill will be his first guest. That was supposed to air at 5 o'clock this afternoon. It did not, of course, because of our coverage of this race. It will be on at 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow morning. Look at this. The average speed of the race is now up to almost 3 miles an hour above the record, and that's because we have had only 2 cautions. There's the leader, Mark Martin, running in second spot.
Brett Bodine, and he's not that far behind, guys. It looks to me like he might have gained just a tick. There we see him going on the inside of Jeff Gordon. In fact, there is their third place car, Dale Earnhardt. He's about a straightaway behind the second place car, but looks like that Brett Bodine has a great run going in that Quaker State 4. Looks like he's gaining on our leader, Mark Martin.
I think he is. He seems to be picking up just a little bit. And we've seen in these long runs, as we see Bill Parsons on the back bumper burn. Hartville was in not too long ago, and in the pits he's a little off sequence with the leaders as Jimmy Hensley comes in the Family Channel car. But Brett Bodine seems to really run strong as they run on these hot tires.
Jimmy Hensley brings the Family Channel Ford in. He is the very first pit down toward turn 1, and also coming in is Ernie Irvin. Here's John. Jerry, sorry.
Actually, we're waiting on Ernie. I'll direct your attention to the right front tire changer, Joey Knuckles. Now, he's going to remove a rubber spacer in the spring because Ernie has a serious push to get the tire off. Now, watch Joey Knuckles reaching underneath in the spring area, trying to pull rubber out. He pulled the rubber out, and now he has the right side tires on. They go on the left side of the car and clean the front grill section. A lot of loose rubber laying in front of the car off that front grill. Left side tires going on the Hamilton Ford Thunderbird. He is off the jack and away.
24.3 second pit stop for Ernie Irvin.
Took a little bit of extra time to take that rubber out of that spring.
Tell you what, the condition must have been pretty bad because Ernie was falling back, and they felt like it was worth that extra 7 or 8 seconds to go ahead and get it done.
Jeff Gordon running in the 13th position, comes in for a pit stop. Service completed. He goes back out. Building up speed in that DuPont Chevrolet for Jeff Gordon. And there is Brett Bodine, who is in second position.
I'll tell you what, Donnie Richardson and that crew better get ready because they need a great pit stop. If they get a 16-second 4-tire stop, he could take the lead from Mark Martin.
Right now, it is a 1.3-second on-track interval between the leader Martin and second place Brett. Riding with Mark.
He waved. I think that means he's coming in the pits.
Hensley passes into the Family Channel car. See if Mark comes down off the bank. He makes a pit stop.
No, he didn't come in the pits. I guess he was waving to him to
go ahead and pass.
He's going to back off to go ahead and pass on the inside.
Fresh tires on the Jimmy Hensley car. Mark continues to circulate, and we're looking back on Mark now from Morgan Shepherd's Citgo Ford.
And that car right behind Mark Martin is Brett Bodine. See that green car back there? That's Brett Bodine.
Yeah, he's really closing in.
Yep, he is closing in.
We understand that Mark Martin will come in 5 more laps, so we'll take a commercial break and be back for that important pit stop involving the leader, Mark Martin.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil. You know, one thing I learned as a coach is that change can be a very positive thing, although sometimes a little unsettling. Over the next few weeks, you may be noticing some changes now that the government has regulated the cable industry. As Store Cable complies with these new laws, your cable bill may go up or down. Channel locations might change. Channels could even be added or deleted. Chances are you'll like some of the changes. Others may be harder to take. That's understandable. At Store Cable, we hope you'll also understand that we're doing the best to comply with the regulations while keeping you informed and your confusion to a minimum. In the meantime, Store Cable will continue to bring you the information and entertainment you've come to expect. Because while some things may be changing, Store Cable's interest in you is still the same.
It's like all the plagues in the history of the world got squeezed into this one.
If we don't find that donor before he donates more blood,
The mortality rate could ultimately turn out to be 100%.
How many people have to die to make it cost efficient for you people to do something about it? 100? 1,000? Give us a number.
I'd like to see a trial. I'd like to see them all convicted.
Are you telling me that they knew they were giving AIDS to people and continue to do it?
We guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Yeah, who do you love? There we were, a jillion miles outside of the hood. The bus got a flat, got no jack. Homie's got to cut his grass. What's up? 4.5. 4.5 here now. 4.5 600 sold. The man's round sells, but he's got no beat. Pardon me.
That was death.
Yo, MC Cow Seller. Fresh.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. You haven't missed a thing. The leaders of Preston cars are on pit road. 2 Fords pitting, 6 on top, 26 on the bottom. Mark Martin getting right side tires, and also right side tires on Brett Bodine. Dale Earnhardt is also on pit road, and Rusty Wallace has just gotten his 4 tires in the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. The 2 cars already back on pit road. That side tires going on the back of his Ford. That side tires are already on the Quaker State Ford. Here's a drag race down pit road, and 26 and 6 are door to door. Looks like Brett Bodine will win that drag race, as Dale Earnhardt is also in. Here's John Kernan.
Jerry, a costly stop. The left front wheel end working on the left front tire. They had an air wrench so bad they got a good air wrench over the wall, but they had a problem with the lug nut falling off. He had to put it on, and Earnhardt also has run over the air hose, but they had a problem with the air hose going bad, the air wrench going bad, so a long pit stop for Dale Earnhardt, but he finally does head down pit road.
Cost him a lot of track positions because he was so slow coming out. There is Bodine, who did beat Mark Martin onto the track, but Mark tries to take the position back from Brett.
This might not be for the lead, but when it all shakes down, it will be for the lead.
Right.
And Mark Martin takes the position away from Brett Bodine.
And it is for the lead right now, too. Then as Morgan Shepherd pulls up on the inside of Brett Bodine, moves around him. Brett maybe a little bit of a push in the Quaker State Ford or something after he put that set of tires on. Not as good as he had hoped they would be. Rick Mast is back on the track after losing 32 laps, and Dave Marcus has gone behind the wall on the backstretch pits.
And John Kernan has more on Dale Earnhardt's problem.
Well, Bob, I said it was a broken air wrench. We were standing behind Earnhardt's car. I was blocked out. What had happened was he ran over the hose, and it was stuck there. So Will Lim, when he came around after changing that right front tire, couldn't get the air wrench in position. So they had to throw another wrench over and then get the other hose out from under. So it wasn't a bad air wrench. It was the fact that Earnhardt actually pulled onto the air hose.
And it's cost him several positions. He's now back to 7th.
So he would be the last car on the lead lap.
Well, that's something you rarely see, as those guys in that pit, in the Goodrich pit, make a mistake. They are so good when it comes to these pit stops.
A lot of traffic here on the front stretch. There's Earnhardt.
He's about a third of a lap behind or ahead of Mark Martin. Here comes Martin off turn 4. We saw Earnhardt go by a little bit ago as he puts another lap on Jeff Purvis on Chevrolet.
And Rusty Wallace, he split 2 cars there on third turn.
There's a poster to Kenny Schrader in the white 25. That's Rusty in the black number 2. He's in 4th place right now.
Schrader is 5th. Harry Gant is right there.
And then Earnhardt right behind them. A couple of cars between. Bobby Hillin and Greg Sachs, who takes care of Greg Sachs. Now moves up on Bobby Hillin, but Hillin's up there in Earnhardt's groove.
Yeah, that's right. We can see that Earnhardt really doesn't run that well down on the bottom of the racetrack. He needs to be up on top. Now he's going to hit up there pretty soon.
Yeah, he's going to pass Schrader before he does that.
Yep.
And Bobby Hillin is going to pass Kenny, too. Earnhardt trying to make up on the racetrack while he lost in the pit area. remote control camera. Car goes zooming by it.
It flew by Jimmy Hensley. Family Channel car. And here comes Earnhardt on the inside of Harry Gant.
Yeah.
Remember, Earnhardt's tires are a couple of laps fresher than Harry Gant's. Makes a big difference.
So that moves Earnhardt back to fifth now. Back up to fifth.
We started this race at 4 o'clock, and of course, one thing on everybody's mind was, would we be able to finish this race before darkness sets in? Now, NASCAR has just told the teams that if we do get into a darkness situation, they will give everybody a 25-lap warning before they throw the checkered flag.
That's at least an hour away, or maybe.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, about 7:30 Eastern time is when I would say they would have to consider stopping this race because of darkness. Mark Martin is the leader in the Valvoline Ford at Darlington Raceway.
You about finished? How's it going? Great. We have a lot of good mechanics that shop at AutoZone. We also have a lot of people who just want to save some money by doing a simple job themselves, like changing their oil or putting in new plugs. They just want to come in, get what they need, and get out. Well, at AutoZone, we have parts for just about every car made. So if you know what you want, great. But if you're not quite sure about something, no problem. We'll help. After all, that's what we're here for.
What is a mountain man's natural environment? Let's explore. A mountain man enjoys peaceful surroundings. A place where gentle winds blow. And the beauty of nature is all about. Only here does the mountain man find true happiness with a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find out how the true mountain man can make any environment a more natural one.
1, 2, 3, 4. Pule, pule. Watch it now, watch it. Viejo, viejo.
Eric Sire leads the Georgia Bulldogs against the high-powered offense of Tennessee. Live college football Saturday night on ESPN.
Okay, 3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. The only hairpins you're comfortable with are the ones your grandmother uses. You get white knuckles on a dime store pony. You think 55 miles an hour is quite fast enough, thank you. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
In downtown Darlington, South Carolina, there's a place called Liberty Lane. The handprints of all the previous winners of the races at Darlington are here. And that would include the gentlemen that are standing with me here in the booth. Because both won on the track Too Tough to Tame, Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett.
So Harry Gant, Neil Bonnet, Bill Elliott, Tim Richmond. Wow. Dale Earnhardt. There's the hands that hold that steering wheel on that number 3 car.
And Martin trying to put his in that.
Yeah. Martin has never won on this racetrack. The 55 car is very slow down in turn 1.
It looks like the Jasper engine car has a serious problem because he was very slow.
Ted Musgrave was running 21st.
And he's pitting on the front stretch, guys. Will he be able to make it back around? He's moving at a pretty good clip, so he might be able to do everything with the engine is running, so he should be able to get it.
Unable to make the race at Bristol last weekend. Now the Jasper Engines US Air Ford is off song here at Darlington, moving very slowly on the apron of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4.
This will be the driver of the Jack Rouse second car in 1994, Ted Musgrave. Meanwhile, another field summary. This is the Autolite Spark Plug field summary. 6 cars show 7 cars in the lead lap. The cars are a lap down. And Jimmy Spencer 2 laps down in 10th spot.
Dale Jarrett not doing bad in 9th.
Having a decent run.
Yeah, started way back in 27th.
See Darrell Walker back in 30th, 7 laps down. Not one of Darrell's better Southern 500s. Remember, he won the race here last year.
Sure did. A rain delay.
We saw Dave Marcus up there. Pardon me, Bob. I mentioned a moment ago that he was behind the wall on the backstretch. He's back out on the racetrack now. He's about 17 laps down. 16.
Walter won the rain-shortened Southern 500 here last year for his first win in that race, but he has won the Trans-South 500 4 times.
And Mark Martin is just driving away from Brett Bodine after that pit stop. Remember, they came back on the racetrack together. Brett Bodine leading, Mark Martin passed him, and look how far he has driven away since then.
Jerry, the 55 car of Ted Musgrave has gone behind the wall. Do you know what's wrong?
They apparently have a problem inside the engine. The engine began to sputter and miss and got worse and worse. They took the Jasper Engines car back to the garage area. Ted Musgrave is going to try to stay in the car. They're going to work on it, try to get him back out, but it doesn't look real good here in the late laps at Darlington.
So they'll try to get that car back out on the racetrack as Martin continues to set the pace. There's the second place, Brett Bodine, whose boss, Kenny Bernstein, of course, is going for a win at the U.S. Nationals NHRA drag race in Indianapolis this weekend.
And we can see he's coming off turn 4, and the third place car, Ernie Irvin, just now going in turn 3. Watch, this is turn 4. We won't see Ernie Irvin for a long time. That's how much of a lead he has on the third place car. Where's Ernie? There he is. It looked like Ernie Irvin was going to be the guy to beat in that Havoline Ford when the race started, but not been able to keep the car handling like Mark Martin.
About a half a lap between the two, between first and second, or first and third, I should say.
All right, we can take our camera and show you. There goes Ernie. Now, you'll find Mark Martin. Wow, that guys are good, aren't they?
Yep. And Martin coming up on Kenny Schrader to put a lap on him. Schrader currently being shown in the 7th position. 7 cars on the lead lap, but that's about to change.
Inside with Mark Martin.
Martin has led 96 laps, Earnhardt 101. So Martin, if he continues to lead here, is going to take over the distinction of leading the most laps in this race, and he puts Ken Schrader, the pole sitter, a lap down. So now only 6 cars are on the lead lap with Mark Martin. Will he make it 4 consecutive wins in NASCAR Winston Cup competition?
Seemed out of reach. It's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the record breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
Here's a sport to try. Gillette Sensor has a sporty new look. Sensor Sport. Because it's not whether you win or lose. It's how you look playing the game.
Introducing Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. A clear, clean, powerful gel. It goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. New Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant.
Zelda from the very start. I got the heart, it's smarts to play the part. Down, Zelda. it through with an overhead view, cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So I stay on track, collect the facts, never cut slack, and I always watch my back for jacks. Zelda, yeah. Don't understand, I'm the man with the plan, cause the power's in my head and the power's in my hand. Zelda.
Facts are brought to you by new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines.
Changes in cylinder head technology in the 90s has obligated Winston Cup teams to increase the RPMs of their engine to get adequate response and horsepower. Now, if you turn one of these engines over 8,700 RPMs per 500 miles, you're generating a lot of extra heat, and it's awfully tough on the valve train. Well, here at Roger Penske Racing South, take a look at Rusty Wallace's engine. Well, it seems like a very simple solution to that problem. Coming off the pressure side of the oil line are two separate lines going to the valve covers. Now, Don Miller, one of the owners of this team, it seems to me what you guys have done is develop a separate oiling system for the valve train.
That's correct, Jerry. What we've done is taken the pressure from the oiling system and directed it to the valve cover. We've welded in several aluminum lines, the end downspouts, which have small 30,000-inch holes drilled in them at these areas so that the oil can be directed directly at the valve springs and the valve train. The oil, the additional oil provided, reduces the heat in the valve train as well as provides extra lubrication.
So you're using both properties of oil, lubricant and coolant. What could have been a very disastrous problem has a very simple solution.
And there's your track fact for this week. Boy, I'm not sure that there is a simple way to beat this guy today. Mark Martin is leading the race.
Hey, I'll tell you, I don't know what that 26 car is gaining on him. Ned, you've been clocked him, haven't you? Is Brett Bodine gaining on Mark Martin?
As a matter of fact, he did for a little bit when Martin was in some traffic, and then he began to pull away once he got clear of the traffic.
Brett Bodine is second.
He is about 3 seconds behind right now, a little over 3 seconds.
We have had a change of third in the last few minutes. Rusty Wallace has passed Ernie Irvin for third place. And now we're looking for Dale Earnhardt.
There went Rusty Wallace. Here comes Ernie Irvin and Dale Earnhardt. This is fourth position.
Yeah, so Dale is going to pick up that position on Ernie Irvin. Boy, Earnhardt just drives right up to the...
And almost got the car out of shape. Up high. And down in 1 and 2, he's driving as high, right up against that guardrail. Watch him, Bob, as he goes down in turn 1. Now he goes up the hill. Look how close he gets to this wall. Oh, he didn't get close to it that time.
Not near as close as he has been.
John Kernan has a report on the Dale Earnhardt situation.
Well, Bob, the sun has gone behind some cloud cover over the last few minutes, and it's really cooled things off. And Richard Childers tells me as soon as the clouds moved in and got over the sun, that Earnhardt's car really picked up a bad push. That's why you're seeing the lines that he's taken through the turn. So when they pit the next time, they plan to make a chassis adjustment, take a round and wedge out, and try and loosen the car up just a little bit.
So his looseness is taking the car right up the racetrack. Now, how about Brett Bodine, Jerry? I'm sorry, the Ernie Irvin car, Jerry.
Remember the last pit stop, guys? They took a rubber out of the right front, a rubber spacer. That was in the car number 28. He had a serious push. You know what they did? They made the car seriously loose. So now Ernie Irvin can't really handle it in the corners. He's dropped off the pace, and that's why you see some cars going by.
Yeah, he's dropped back to 6th position now and is the last car on the lead lap. Todd Bodine is right beside Ernie.
Harry again passing just the last lap to take that 5th position away. Todd Bodine's car has been awfully good today. We talked about earlier, he now is several laps down as Phil Parsons goes by all these guys. Evidently Phil has been in and got in some fresh tires.
Boy, he drove going around. So that car feels so good right now. I wish it would continue to do that, but he knows that in about 10 laps it will slow down and he'll be slipping and sliding like everybody else.
That 30th position that's being shown for Todd Bodine is certainly not reflective of how well he and the car have run this afternoon. He's 8 laps down. Earnhardt again is right up on the wall.
Down the front straightaway, and we can see when he goes down in turn 1, he goes just in as high as he can to make that corner as round as possible. He doesn't want to have to turn the wheel to make a corner, make any kind of diamond shape in the corner. He wants to make it as round as possibly can because of that pushing condition.
Now, normally we don't run at this time of day here at Darlington. The sun is going to get further and further down on the horizon. Where is it going to create a problem for the drivers?
Going in turn 1. They're going to be driving right into the sun, and we probably, from our in-car cameras, can see when that sun, the clouds go away, just how tough it's going to be.
Here's Martin moving off, and oh yeah, look at this as he's coming down the front stretch. Boy, it is almost impossible to see what's ahead of you. Tremendous amount of glare on the front end of that car until he reaches the shadows down in turn number 1. We'll be right back.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil for Storer Cable, and I'd like to share with you some of the changes we may be going through as we comply with new government regulations. Your bill may be going up or down. Channel locations may change. Channels could even be added or deleted. You may like some of these changes and dislike others. Nevertheless, at Storer Cable, we're doing our best to comply with the regulations while keeping any confusion to a minimum. In the meantime, Storer Cable will continue to bring you the information and entertainment you've come to expect.
Up, way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
It's like all the plagues in the history of the world got squeezed into this one.
If we don't find that donor before he donates more blood,
The mortality rate could ultimately turn out to be 100%.
How many people have to die to make it cost efficient for you people to do something about it? 100? 1,000? Give us a number.
I'd like to see a trial. I'd like to see them all convicted.
Are you telling me that they knew they were giving AIDS to people and continue to do it?
They took that out, the car got very loose. So watch for them to put 2 rounds of fight to try to tighten the rear of the car up as the car comes down pit road for a 4-tire change. Here is Bernie Irvin, car number 28. Right side tire is coming off. Left side lug nuts coming off. Remember, has a ratchet in the right part of the trunk lid. And now we're going to get the right side tires on. Crew member going up, and he'll put 1 round, 2 rounds of wedge in the car. 2.5 rounds of wedge in the car. Puts the bike. He is down and away in 18.4 seconds.
Well, that was a great pit stop to do all they did. They changed 4 tires, put in a tank of fuel, to make an adjustment on the chassis.
It was a great pit stop.
He continues to be held by Mark Martin, and the average speed is almost 4 miles an hour now above the race record. We're averaging 139.1. The race record is 135.4. Only 2 cautions. Both of them came early, and neither was for any accident. And Martin's last 6 race average finish, 3.5. He was 2nd at New Hampshire, 13th at Pocono, 3rd at Talladega, and he has won the last 3 NASCAR Winston Cup events.
Here's Bobby Labonte in the Maxwell House car. He just made a pit stop, changed tires, so he comes out and blows by our leader. I'll tell you what, those cars, Ernie Irvin, when he came in, Ned, because right now, about 80 laps to go. He's going to have to make two more pit stops, whereas Mark Martin is only going to have to make 2 more pit stops. So we're getting down to the situation right now that you don't want to pit too soon because it's going to make you make an extra pit stop.
Yep, it's something they have to consider. We understand that Earnhardt maybe is going to try to make it to, what, 302, and we're at 289, working the 290th lap right now.
It's about 14 more laps.
Let's go to the pits and John Kernan for more on that.
Yeah, Ned, I was just talking to Richard Childress. I also talked to Button Carrot, crew chief from Rusty Wallace. They're looking at 301 to 302. If they can hang on and go that distance, they can go the rest of the way. They would only need 1 more pit stop. So that's what we're going to look for them to do. That's the strategy right now.
We'll see if the strategy works out for them.
Yeah, I was talking about making 2 more pit stops. Only 1 more pit stop, where Ernie Irvin will have to make 2.
He'll have to make 1. He just made 1 and have to make 1 more.
Exactly.
And Jerry Punch has more on this pit strategy that's playing out.
They are still calculating here in the Valvoline pits. Here's what they're up against. They believe NASCAR will shorten the race. It will not run complete 367. That's what they believe here in the Valvoline pit. Steve Mills said the sun is going down. The shadows are getting longer. They think that NASCAR will be concerned about the drivers being able to see and shorten the race. So they're going to try to stay out and do some calculations. They think they can make 2 more stops and stay on fresh tires, but they haven't decided yet when they're going to bring him in.
Well, there's a consideration that I hadn't thought of, and I'm not sure if I agree with that strategy because we've only got, what, 67, 76 laps to go?
Yeah, 76 more laps to go, and we've got another hour to do that. Yeah. But still, that's another 100 miles. Of course, we're averaging 140 miles an hour, so it really shouldn't be a problem to finish unless we start having caution play.
Right.
That would be the key.
Mark Martin continuing to lead here over Brett Bodine. Rusty Wallace is running 3rd. Dale Earnhardt 4th. And Ricky Rudd is 5th.
Americans have always had a love affair with their cars.
Do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
And when it comes to plugs and filters, we guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Who do you love? Do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
Brute. Men are back.
Phew, those smelly shoes. They need Odor Eaters insoles with activated charcoal, the world's most powerful odor destroyer. Odor Eaters, so strong they actually knock the odor out of your shoes and out of your life.
As the season winds down, the pennant chase heats up on ESPN. This week on America's Game of the Week, the Rangers continue their struggle to stay in the AL West race. The Twins try to play the role of spoilers. Tonight, live on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Riding with Ricky Rudd as he pulls out of the pit area after having made a pit stop, and you can see that the windshield was clean, but the visibility isn't all that great. He gives up 6th position to make the stop.
And guys, right now we're getting a terrific break, or these drivers are. The clouds have moved over the sun, and we're not driving into that sun down the front straightaway, so visibility is pretty good now.
Yeah, they're not blinded the way we saw Mark Martin a little bit earlier as to go into that turn. You don't have that tremendous glare.
Mark Martin's crew is still talking about it. Remember, Steve Neal said he thinks the race is going to be shortened because of darkness. Jerry, now, are they rethinking this strategy?
Apparently they're going to hedge their bet a little bit and just make this stop in about 2 to 3 laps and hope that they can make it on this final stop on fuel all the way if the race were to go the complete 367 laps. They've made a decision on calculations. Jack Roush who is the team owner and engine builder. He's on top of this engine or pit card here. He does the calculations on fuel. They have made a calculation. He looks at his chart one more time, and then they make a pit stop in 2 laps. They should be able to make it, maybe. So they're going to bring him in about 2 laps for what would be his final scheduled stop.
And that would be on lap 300. 298 have been completed. By the way, Mark has led 127 of them.
Terry Labonte's car is very slow off the pace. He's running on about 6 cylinders. You can see the smoke coming from the Kellogg Chevrolet as he runs down on the inside of the racetrack.
Here comes Mark Martin. He's decided to come in the pits.
Jerry Punchy is headed toward you. Mark Martin on pit road.
And for those of you with calculators at home, 67 laps times 1.366 miles. How far does he have to go? You figure it out yourself. It's going to be awfully close. And this is the final pit stop for the man who has been Mr. August, Mark Martin. 3 in a row in victory lane, and he brings the Valvoline Ford to a stop on pit road. Right side tires, very, very important to clean the windshield. Now, Brett Bodine is also in. He is on the bottom of your screen. That's Brett Bodine's Quaker State Ford. Mark Martin getting left side tires. Now they move to the left side of the Quaker State Ford. Left side lug nuts being fastened. Martin revving the engine. He is off the jack and away. And Brett Bodine still up on the jack on the left side. The left front a little bit of a problem. Now here is Brett Bodine off the jack. He heads back to turn 1.
Well, Jerry, they'll have about a little over 89 miles to go with 67 laps. Fuel will not be a problem for them.
Morgan Shepherd is in with the Citgo 4. They're changing the right side on that car. And Dale Earnhardt is also in. John Kernan, he's headed toward you.
Dale Earnhardt slowly pulls the GM Lumina. Richard Childers will loosen it up. Remember with the sun, with the clouds over, the racetrack is tightened up for Dale Earnhardt. He picked up that terrible push. Right side tires going on. Jack is already down in the Q3 to crew swing around. David Smith, 2 quick pumps on the 3 pumps. The car is up in the air. Left side tires going on. No mistakes this time. Did not move over the air hose. 19.6 seconds. A very good stop for Dale Earnhardt.
Under 20 seconds. An excellent stop for the Dale Earnhardt crew. Down on the racetrack.
This leaves Rusty Wallace in the lead in the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac.
There he is.
Now he should be coming in before too long.
Yep, right now, because Rick Wilson passes on the high side as Rusty comes down off the 23 degrees of banking in the 3rd and 4th turns. Oh, he's a little sideways coming off the corner. Here's John Kernan.
Maybe just a little bit anxious, Bob. They picked up that 5 bonus points for leading the last field. A lot of rubber buildup, although not really too bad on that front grille. They'll go to work cleaning the windshield on the driver's side. They'll also change right side tires. And we're not anticipating a chassis adjustment. Second can of gasoline going in. Team swinging into action on the left side. Buddy Barrett handing that left front tire in. They get it down and away. 17.9 seconds. Unbelievable.
Poetry in motion. You can't do it any better than that. 17.9.
You're right. You really can't do it any better than Buddy Barrett and that crew make their pit stops on this Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. They are just awesome.
There is Mark Martin.
He's now back in the lead.
Yep. With Rusty's pit stop, Mark is back in front of the 44th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500. And we'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil for Storer Cable, and I'd like to share with you some of the changes we may be going through as we comply with new government regulations. Your bill may be going up or down. Channel locations may change. Channels could even be added or deleted. You may like some of these changes and dislike others. Nevertheless, at Storer Cable, we're doing our best to comply with the regulations while keeping any confusion to a minimum. In the meantime, Storer Cable will continue to bring you the information and entertainment you've come to expect.
Up. Way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
It's like all the plagues in the history of the world got squeezed into this one.
If we don't find that donor before he donates more blood,
The mortality rate could ultimately turn out to be 100%.
How many people have to die to make it cost efficient for you people to do something about it? 100? 1,000? Give us a number.
I'd like to see a trial.
I'd like to see them all convicted.
Are you telling me that they knew they were giving AIDS to people and continue to do it?
It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now, announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
Americans have always had a love affair with their cars.
Do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
And when it comes to plugs and filters, we guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Yeah, who do you love?
ESPN Speed World is being brought to you by new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And by Allied Signals Autolite Spark Plugs, guaranteed for 2 years no matter how far you go. Mark Martin is leading the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina with 308 laps out of 367 completed. Here is Ernie Irvin and Rusty Wallace battling on the racetrack for what, third?
Third place. Ernie Irvin had it. Rusty Wallace does now.
I think that's for fourth place, fourth and fifth.
It is?
Yep. Mark Martin leads.
Yeah.
But I'm a second. Harry Gant.
I'm sorry. Yes, Harry Gant is in third place.
Harry made a pit stop before some of the others. Picked up several seconds on while he was running on fresh tires. Of course, that'll change as he runs on down towards the end of that stop. He'll slow down. Jeff Purvis was black flagged, apparently going too fast on pit road. Had to come back in. Goes back out once again.
Another Autolite field summary for you. I might mention that during the commercial break, Jeff Gordon came in and had a long pit stop. They apparently were experiencing some overheating problems. They put some water in the car, but he was in for quite a while.
We see how far the way that Rusty Wallace has pulled from Ernie Irvin in just a lap or two. Here comes Dale Earnhardt. He wants to take that position away from Irvin.
Now remember again, Irvin made his pit stop a good bit earlier than did Wallace and Earnhardt. Wallace was the last of those cars to make a pit stop, so he has the freshest tires on his car. Irvin has the oldest.
Earnhardt closing in on it.
We're probably passing right coming off of turn 4.
Right here?
Yep.
Earnhardt to fifth.
And I think Harry pitted soon enough that he will have to pit before the race is over. If in fact we run 367 laps.
Yeah, I think he'll have to pit again. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Right now, of course, Mark would continue to eat into Dale Earnhardt's lead. In fact, he would go to second in the points if they were awarded right now, and Rusty Wallace would be third.
And I talked about the clouds moving in just a moment ago. I wonder if there's any rain. I don't know. I guess there's any rain in those clouds.
I don't think so. There's Ricky Rudd, who is running 8th.
I tell you what, the NASCAR monitor in their booth sure helps. Remember, used to when we tried to figure out where anybody was running?
Yeah, you had to count on your hands and look at each other and
guess then.
Yeah, right.
We had to depend on Ned really because he could keep track of it. I couldn't. There again, Rick Mast had a great run going today until that unscheduled pit stop. Had to go behind the wall and put a new rear end in the car, new gear in the car.
And he just came out of the pits with 4 new tires on the car. You can see him zip by Ricky Rudd. Rudd being shown in the 8th position right now, 1 lap behind the leaders.
And Mast is all the way back in 33rd. Almost 4 miles an hour above the track record. And speaking of overheating problems, look like that Rick Wilson is experiencing such.
Wow. It's on the backstretch. You see Dave Marcus back there as well.
That looks like a break. No, I guess there's water there.
It's steaming wherever it's coming from.
And there's our leader, Mark Martin.
About to come up and put another lap on Dale Jarrett, who is ninth.
You know, if he wins this thing today, no one is going to win any of the R.J. Reynolds money.
Yeah, that's right.
The Winston million, even the $100,000 is going by the wayside.
Yep. Get to save all that money.
They probably would prefer to pay it off, get more publicity out of it anyway.
Yep.
There's Urban.
He had a chance at $100,000. Looked like he might have a chance earlier on, but right now it looks like his hopes are fading. Bobby Hillin goes down on the apron and goes by her.
Now Rusty Wallace has caught Harry Gant for 3rd place. Gant's tires are older. Rusty has the freshest tires of anybody on the racetrack that's in the lead lap.
Those of you tuning in for NFL Prime Time, it is 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Stay with us. At the conclusion of this race, that program will be on with Chris Berman before our coverage of Major League Baseball at 8 o'clock, 1 hour from now. So hang in there for NFL Prime, giving you the results of all the games that were played today in the National Football League.
Well, we see Rick Wilson back out there running again after making that pit stop with steam coming out of the STP Pontiac on the backstretch. Moves over, lets Earnhardt go by on the outside.
And Earnhardt sees Harry Gant up in front of him. That's for 4th spot.
There's Martin, who has just passed Michael Waltrip. He's running in 14th position.
He must be a couple of laps down now. And there goes Earnhardt by Harry Gant.
This is the battle for position. Dale got it. And Rick Wilson.
With those fresh tires on, just drives under Harry. Harry's been out there quite a while on those tires, and as Benny said, he's going to have to make another pit stop when this race is over. Because he pitted about, I don't know, I'm thinking about 12 to 14 laps before Earnhardt and Mark Martin did.
Got a glimpse of that left side damage on Gant's car that was sustained during an on-pit road incident with Ricky Rudd early on in the race.
Well, you can see Gant's tires are slipping up the track for him.
Ooh, we saw him
slipping off the track. Yeah. Slipping around a little bit.
Well, you can see the visibility is not very good out the front of this Ricky Rudd car. Besides that, the visibility is getting a little low because of darkness, Jerry.
It is there, Bob. In fact, we were told that some of the crews have commented on it. In fact, I'm standing here in the Valvoline crew where Steve Mill is standing by with me. And Steve, there's some concern over the visibility here.
Well, with 100 to go, Mark said he didn't think he could make it on visibility. But he hasn't said a thing about it here lately. He's got a good lead. If it goes to the end, we gambled that it wouldn't. So we're kind of be short on fuel. We might have to make another stop, but so would everybody else. So we're not real worried about it. It's getting darker. They may go and they may not.
A lot of teams down here have already complained that it is getting a little bit darker. It's amazing the teams that are complaining are the ones that are going to stop again. That's a surprise, isn't it?
Oh, by the way, Harry Gant just made a pit stop.
That should be his last pit stop. Yeah. Should be able to make it from here on as Rusty Wallace moves up on, Earnhardt moves up on Rusty Wallace for the 3rd position.
Yeah, this is the battle for 3rd. Rusty and Dale. Right now, Rusty holds on to that spot while Mark Martin continues to lead and Brett Bodine runs in 2nd.
When Darrell Waltrip needs his car serviced, he needs the best and he needs it fast.
And so do you. These days, it's hard to know who to trust. The service team at Western Auto does the job right. Right, Junior?
Right, DW, and at the right price.
From batteries to brakes, to shocks, tires, and alignment, you can trust Western Auto to give you the best service at unbeatable low prices every day. the best service at the right price from someone you can trust. At Western Auto, we guarantee it.
Right, DW.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
Well, there ain't no doubt about the power of do. It's got the airborne thrust of a rocket fuel. Get out of that job. Get out, get into the air. Vertical with the power of do. Get vertical. Vertical with the power of do.
Will you please turn that noise down?
Can you make that TV a little louder?
Isn't there any way to listen to TV and stereo the way you want to listen? Introducing Magna Sound 2000, the personal cordless headset that lets you control your own volume without bothering others. Magna Sound transmits a powerful RF signal that reaches your headset with the clearest sound you ever heard. As soft as you want, as loud as you want. Even if you leave the room, even around corners. Enjoy sports, watch TV in bed, control your own volume without annoying others. And look, you can even attach it to your stereo. Magna Sound is the perfect personal audio system, and it's yours for only $39.95. So have your credit card ready and call now.
For faster service, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-453-6200 or send check or money order for $39.95 plus $5.50 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Mark Martin continues to lead the Mountain Dew Southern 500 and has just locked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Here is the best battle on the racetrack. It is Rusty Wallace trying to pass Dale Earnhardt.
Trying to repass Dale Earnhardt while we were break. Earnhardt passed Rusty Wallace. Meanwhile, our pole sitter, Kenny Schrader, is on pit road. Changing right sides. Now go around, changing left sides. Filling the car up with fuel.
They're finished with the pit stop. Good stop by the Kodiak crew, and Ken Schrader moves back out onto the racetrack.
That should be his last pit stop. He was in the 6th position, 1 lap behind the leaders. Put him another lap down, but he should be set to go the rest of the way.
The fastest race that's ever been run in this particular event was in 1989. 135.462 miles an hour was the average set by Dale Earnhardt. Above that today, but Earnhardt isn't leading it.
No, he's running 3rd right now. We see he's getting away from Rusty Wallace just a little bit.
Bobby Labonte in the ditch, being shown in 11th position.
There we see Bobby Labonte. Had a great qualifying run.
He started this race in 3rd spot.
Red Sachs in. Pit road behind Maxwell House Ford and Bobby Labonte. He gets his service and heads back out, so he should be set for the rest of the race.
Here once again is the battle for 3rd position. Earnhardt and Wallace running 2nd now as Brett Bodine. This is Martin, 3rd and 4th right here.
I said that Earnhardt was getting away from Rusty Wallace. I think I lied. Rusty's hanging in there pretty good.
Yep.
In fact, there's a little bit of a surprise that Earnhardt was able to come up and pass Rusty because Rusty does have the precious tires on. We mentioned that several times, but maybe this set of tires were not matched quite as good as the ones before, and he's not running quite as fast. Maybe he's picking back up now.
Bodine, and he is in 2nd position with 35 laps to go, and Donnie Richardson is the chief mechanic of the race from Western Auto. Donnie is the crew chief on this Quaker State Ford, and he wins the honors today.
And I'd say that's an honor well deserved.
Yes,
today. a great run for this 26 car today.
We mentioned earlier that Brett's best finish this year is 5th at Pocono in July, so he's going to up that considerably if he continues to hang in there in second spot.
Marcus, apparently with a little fresher tires. There comes Dale Jarrett up. He does have fresher tires. He just made a pit stop a couple of laps ago. And so he has fresh tires. He'll blow Brett off here pretty quickly.
We're getting down to it. Just 34 laps to go. NASCAR told us that, what, give him a 25-lap warning if they was going to end the race? Well,
they're going to have to do it 9 laps.
Yeah, really.
Won't mean anything.
This thing is going to go to the end. It may be a little dark, but it's going to go to the end.
We mentioned that Mark Martin has locked up the 5 extra points for leading the most laps. This is the 4th time in the 22 races of 93 that he has led the most laps.
About to put a lap on Ernie Irvin right now as to go into turn 1.
He has a lap on Ernie Irvin.
Irvin in 5th position.
And the Haviland crew is waiting on Irvin to make his final pit stop. That could come soon.
Believe me, it's going to come real soon. He's not going to stay out there on worn tires, especially a lap down. He's going to come in quickly, like right now.
Because he could lose other positions.
Whoa! And he overshot entrance to the pits. He was just going too fast and locked up.
And they throw the caution. The caution flag is out.
And
for only the 3rd time.
Yep, he got the car going, but the caution was already waving. Well, this is going to be a break for a lot of people. It'll be a bad break for Harry Gant, Dale Jarrett, Kenny Schrader, those that have made green flag pit stops. Now the others are going to come in and make yellow flag pit stop. Dick Trickle trying to get a lap back here.
And he will or won't. Yep, I think he did by inches.
Actually, you know, Ned, that could have helped Ernie because he's only 1 lap down. If he had made the pit stop, a clean pit stop, he would have been 2 laps down.
Yeah, it could help him. That's true. Yep.
Here he comes, and I think he decided all of a sudden late to make a pit stop. There's sand, there's debris down there. He gets in that, and around he goes like I did about 20 years ago.
You?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's only our 3rd caution of the day. But it comes at a time when many drivers needed a pit stop, the final one of the race. They're going to get it now under caution. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Ernie's big problem the last maybe 115 laps has been the car has been very, very loose. You saw him take the rubber out early in the right front. They put a couple rounds away. That didn't cure the problem. They were going to go ahead and bring him in that time. And Ernie was so loose in the corner with the rear of the car that when he hit the brake pedal to come in, the car just scooted around. That's how bad the car has been most of the afternoon for Ernie Irvin. And here are the leaders on the pit road. 6 at the top of your screen, 26 on bottom. Valvoline Ford on top, Quaker State Ford on the bottom. And Dale Earnhardt is also on pit road. Left side tires, split screen. Now you see the left side tires going on the Valvoline Ford. Likewise, left side tires going on the Quaker State Ford. Mark is off the jackie down, and so is Brent Bodine. So it'll be Martin and then Bodine back to turn 1 in that order. Here is Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt as Pontiac and Chevrolet will follow him back to turn 1. And they are still waiting here in the pits for Ernie Irvin in the Haviland Ford.
Well, those that are on the lead lap have made their final pit stops. There is the shot of Mark Martin as he tries to get a little air into that car, cooling himself off and getting ready for the final run to the checkered.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The ball goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the record breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
Fire from beneath the mountains gave the land its richness. And the land gave the richness to the coffee of Colombia. That's why Maxwell House uses more Colombian beans than anyone in America. Because better beans make better coffee. Maxwell House, the official coffee of NASCAR. Always good to the last drop.
Sun is setting on Darlington Raceway in South Carolina on this Sunday afternoon. The NASCAR Winston Cup Mountain Dew Southern 500 still with a few more laps to go. Coming up right after this race will be NFL Prime Time, and then at 8 o'clock Eastern, it is Sunday Night Baseball with the Rangers against the Twins. The Rangers struggling to stay in the AL West race, led by the explosive bat of Juan Gonzalez. Kirby Puckett and the Twins try to play the role of spoilers. 8 o'clock tonight, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. We're setting up for the finish of the race. We are still under our third caution of the day. We'll take another break and be right back with more of our live coverage from Darlington.
Sunday Night NFL on TNT. It's opening night, and Warren Moon has a lot on his mind, like the Saints defense. Regular season kicks off with the Oilers and Saints tonight at 8 Eastern on TNT. Sunday night!
James Earl Jones, Billy D. Williams, and Courtney B. Vance as Thunder. A fighter in a split decision between honor and corruption. Percy and Thunder from TNT Screenworks premieres Tuesday night at 8.
CNN presents an hour of compelling television each month focusing on an important issue affecting our lives. Previously, we talked to battered women who killed in self-defense, investigated America's decaying infrastructure, followed UN inspection teams looking for a nuclear bomb in Iraq. And coming Sunday, September 5th, CNN presents looks at the ways in which Americans are holding institutions accountable for their actions.
Bob Jenkins, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Dr. Jerry Punch back late on a Sunday afternoon at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. It rained here today, delaying this Mountain Dew Southern 500 3 hours. When they get the green flag in a half a lap, it'll be lap 342, and we'll have 25 laps to go. Mark Martin is the leader of this race, looking for his fourth consecutive NASCAR Winston Cup win. Here's Jerry Punch.
Bob, they just told the teams that when they get the green flag, it'll be 10 laps to go. They just told the teams it'll be 10 laps to go, and the race will be over. It'll be 10 laps, it'll be 9 laps white, then checkered. So that's what they told the Valvoline and all the teams in the lead lap. This will be a 10-lap shootout here if they get the green flag.
So instead of 25, we will have 10 laps to go. The crowd has not wavered. They have been here since early this morning when it was pouring down rain, and now they watch the final 10 laps of the 44th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500. Can Mark Martin hold on for 10 laps and win his fourth consecutive Winston Cup event? Let's see. Scramble for position is on. Ernie Irvin is a lap down. Don't forget that. The 28 car.
There's a couple other cars that lap down too, so he at least wants to stay in front of those cars.
Comes Earnhardt passing the lapped car of Ricky Rudd, but right ahead of him now is Brett Bodine, who is second. 8 to go. Every position is valuable, especially the lead of Earnhardt here, who is the points leader, but is seeing his points lead eaten away by red-hot Mark Martin. Earnhardt trying to take second place from Brett Bodine with 6 to go. Earnhardt goes up the racetrack, as he has done so many times, right against the wall.
Almost every lap today, Earnhardt's been up against that retaining wall. Adjusting his driving style to the way his car... Oh, and he's in the wall. Earnhardt's in the wall. Heavy damage up there in 3 and 4. Now he's going to try to bring it in. How much damage is it to the car?
He'll just drive her right on to the end of the race, though.
He lost his chance there to get second place.
And there goes third place, Rusty Wallace.
Rusty is now third. Dale back to fourth.
And all these cars are on the lead lap, so right now he just needs to back off and let them go. Just finish the race.
We will have a new record speed, 137.706. There are 4 laps to go now. Here's how Dale Earnhardt got up high and bumped the wall at 3.
Goes at turn 3, goes right up to the top of the racetrack. The back end catches the wall. He goes up and gets the front end some heavy damage to this Goodrich Chevrolet.
John, what happened?
Dale has radioed in and told Richard Childress that the 26 car of Brett Bodine is leaking out some fluid out of the overflow. Apparently a little overheating there. He got into it and got up into the wall. He hasn't really said just how badly damaged the car is, but as you can see, it is not as fast as it was. In fact, Andy Petrie has just told him to just hang on, try and finish the race.
Yeah, he's going to finish in 4th position unless the car stops and he loses a lap. But chances are that's not going to happen because there are only 3 laps to go.
2, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 laps to go.
When they get back the next time.
Oh, back the next time, too? Okay. All right, we'll see. Whenever we get the white flag, we'll know there's 1 to go. That's right. You guys are right, because Joel Ford is giving the signal right now. 2 laps to go to Mark Martin.
Cale Yarborough won 4 in a row in '76. Waldrop did in '81. Earnhardt did in '87. Gant did in '91. Elliott in '92. And now Mark Martin is about to win his 4th in a row.
And to win the Southern 500, Ned, you know this has to be one of the happiest moments of this young man's life.
No doubt about it. As we've said so many times, this is one of the toughest tracks on the circuit, and if you can beat this track on any given day, it's one of the greatest feelings of accomplishment that you can have. The white flag is out to Mark Martin right now.
1 more lap to go for Mark Martin. This will be his 11th career NASCAR Winston Cup win. It'll be his 4th of this year. And it's his first win ever at this grand old racetrack that has been hosting a NASCAR Winston Cup race on Labor Day weekend since 1950.
And Earnhardt took the white flag, so he will be credited with 4th spot, even though the car shouldn't get back, but it will get back. And Mark Martin wins.
Mark Martin's express continues. He has won 4 in a row. Mark Martin continues to eat into the points lead of Dale Earnhardt for the 1993 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. A great win.